Hello dear viewers, support me by subscribing to my channel and share my video if you like it, and also make sure you comment your thoughts. Now let's start the video. The air was thick with the scent of smoke and the remnants of battle as the sun rose over Winterfell. The once proud castle, a symbol of stark resilience, bore the scars of the recent conflict. Its walls, battered and blackened, stood as a testament to the ferocity of the Night King's assault. Yet amidst the devastation, life began to stir. Survivors, weary but determined, emerged from the shadows of despair, ready to reclaim their home. In the heart of Winterfell, Sansa Stark surveyed the damage with a heavy heart. The Great Hall, a place of feasting and celebration, was now a hollow shell, its banners torn and its hearth cold. Yet the flicker of hope ignited within her. She gathered her people, rallying them with words of encouragement. "We have endured much," Sansa declared, her voice steady despite the tremor of emotion beneath. "But we are Stark blood. We will rebuild, and we will honor those we lost by forging a future stronger than ever before." As the northern lords and ladies gathered, the mood was somber yet resolute. They formed small groups, discussing plans for reconstruction. The sound of hammers striking nails and the shouts of laborers filled the air. Men and women of all ages worked side by side, clearing debris, salvaging what they could, and starting anew. Jon Snow, now burdened with the weight of leadership, moved among the workers, offering assistance where he could. His presence inspired confidence, and many found solace in the sight of their king among them. He lifted heavy stones and cleared rubble, his hands calloused and dirt-streaked. "Jon," called a familiar voice. It was Tormund Giantsbane, his wild hair tousled and a grin plastered across his face. "You should be resting, not playing laborer." Jon chuckled, shaking his head. "Resting does not rebuild Winterfell, Tormund. We all have our part to play." The wildlings had proven invaluable allies in the fight against the dead, and now they were equally committed to the restoration of the North. Tormund, along with a dozen other wildlings, had taken it upon themselves to help fortify the castle's defenses, using their unique skills to repair the battlements. As the days turned into weeks, the scars of battle began to fade. New banners were hung, symbolizing the unity of the North. The weirwood tree, a sacred emblem of the Starks, was tended to with reverence. Bran, now more attuned to the whispers of the past, often sat beneath its branches, sharing stories of old with those who gathered around him. "Winterfell is more than stone and timber," Bran told a group of eager listeners. "It is the spirit of the North, the legacy of our ancestors. We must remember them as we rebuild." The time for the council had come. The hall was filled with the most powerful lords of the North, each representing their houses, all bearing the weight of their losses. The atmosphere was charged, a mix of grief and determination. Jon stood at the head of the table, flanked by Sansa and Bran. He felt their eyes upon him, a mix of expectation and hope. It was a moment he had anticipated, yet dreaded. He had fought the dead, but now he faced the living, the lords who would decide the fate of the realm. "Brothers and sisters of the North," Jon began, his voice steady but laced with emotion. "We have faced an enemy unlike any other. We have lost so much, but we have also gained a strength that comes from unity. It is time we choose a path forward." Murmurs rippled through the hall. Lord Umber, a stout man with a fierce demeanor, rose first. "You fought bravely, Jon Snow. You led us against the Night King." The room erupted in a chorus of agreement. Lords and ladies nodded, their faces reflecting the resolve that had been forged in the fires of battle. "Let it be known," declared Lord Manderly, his voice booming, "that we stand united behind Jon Snow, King of Westeros." Cheers erupted as cups were raised in celebration. Jon's heart swelled with pride and humility. He had never sought the throne, yet here he stood, embraced by the loyalty of those he had fought to protect. The moment was significant, but Jon knew the challenges ahead would be monumental. He felt the weight of their expectations heavy on his shoulders. As the celebrations continued, the doors of the hall swung open, and a hush fell over the crowd. Stannis Baratheon entered, flanked by Davos Seaworth. The tension in the room was palpable. Stannis, the once claimant to the Iron Throne, had become a figure of controversy, yet his presence commanded attention. Stannis nodded, his expression serious. "I have seen the strength of your leadership, Jon Snow. You did what no one could. Before I bent my knee because of our ideals, but now I am here to formally bend my knee and acknowledge you as my king." With a slow, deliberate motion, Stannis knelt before Jon, lowering his head. The court was silent, the weight of the moment settling over them like a shroud. Davos stepped forward, his voice steady. This man has fought for the living when all seemed lost. He deserves our respect. The silence was broken by the sound of Jon's voice. Rise, Stannis. Your loyalty is honored and your strength will be needed in the days to come. Stannis rose, a flicker of gratitude in his eyes. The act of bending the knee was not just a gesture, it was a recognition of unity among the houses of Westeros. The northern lords watched, some with skepticism, others with hope, as the former rival pledged his allegiance to Jon Snow. As the council continued, Jon knew he needed wise counsel. He turned to Tyrion Lannister, who had been a steady presence throughout the tumultuous events. Tyrion, Jon said, you have navigated the treacherous waters of politics with skill. I would have you promoted as my hand as you deserve it more than in one. Your previous post will be handed to someone else. The room erupted in murmurs once again. Tyrion, with his characteristic wit, smiled. I suppose this means I can no longer drink in peace. Jon chuckled, the tension easing slightly. Your wisdom is invaluable, Tyrion. Tyrion stepped forward, his demeanor shifting to one of seriousness. I pledge my loyalty to you, Jon. No other ruler could command such loyalty after defeating the dead. Together, we will forge a new path for Westeros. With that, Jon and Tyrion clasped hands, sealing their alliance. The northern lords looked on, some nodding in approval, while others remained cautious. The political landscape was shifting, and it would take time for trust to be fully established. As the council concluded, Jon felt a sense of urgency. The victory over the Night King had come at a great cost, and the realm was still vulnerable. Days turned into weeks, and the rebuilding of Winterfell continued. The sounds of laughter began to echo through the halls once more, and the spirit of the North was rekindled. Jon often found himself standing atop the walls, gazing out over the lands that stretched before him. He felt a sense of purpose, a connection to the past, and a commitment to the future. The sun rose over King's Landing, casting a golden glow on the Red Keep as the day of celebration dawned. The city buzzed with excitement, its streets filled with people eager to witness the crowning of Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen, the newly united rulers of Westeros and Essos. Now both continents are united as one kingdom. Above them, the sky was alive with the majestic flight of dragons. Jon's formidable Balerion and Ygritte soared alongside Daenerys' smaller but equally fierce Viserion and Rhaegar, their scales glinting in the sunlight. In the Great Hall, banners of House Stark and House Targaryen hung side by side, symbolizing the unity forged in fire and blood. The hall was adorned with flowers and tapestries, a stark contrast to the grim memories of war that had once stained these walls. Lords and ladies from across the realm filled the seats, their faces a mixture of awe and anticipation. Jon stood at the front, clad in a regal outfit that bore the sigils of both houses. His dark hair fell around his shoulders, framing a face that had weathered many storms. Beside him, Daenerys radiated strength and grace, her silver hair cascading down her back, adorned with a delicate crown of gold and jewels. As they prepared to take their vows, the air crackled with energy. The High Septon, an elderly man with a long white beard, stepped forward, his voice booming through the hall. We gather here today to witness the union of these two noble houses, to crown Jon Snow, the Wolf Dragon, and Daenerys Targaryen as the rightful rulers of the new kingdom of United Essos and Westeros. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices echoing off the stone walls. Jon and Daenerys exchanged a glance, filled with understanding and shared purpose. They had faced countless challenges together, and now they stood on the brink of a new era. Do you, Jon Snow, pledge to protect the realm and uphold justice for all? The High Septon asked. I do, Jon replied, his voice steady and resolute. And do you, Daenerys Targaryen, vow to rule with compassion and strength? He continued. I do, Daenerys affirmed, her eyes shining with determination. With their vows spoken, the High Septon placed the crowns upon their heads, and the hall erupted in applause. The sound of celebration filled the air as Jon and Daenerys turned to face their people, the weight of their new titles settling upon them like a mantle. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices echoing off the stone walls. Jon and Daenerys exchanged a glance filled with understanding and shared purpose. They had faced countless challenges together, and now they stood on the brink of a new era. Do you, Jon Snow, pledge to protect the realm and uphold justice for all? the High Septon asked. I do, Jon replied, his voice steady and resolute. And do you, Daenerys Targaryen, vow to rule with compassion and strength? He continued. I do, Daenerys affirmed, her eyes shining with determination. With their vows spoken, the High Septon placed the crowns upon their heads, and the hall erupted in applause. The sound of celebration filled the air as Jon and Daenerys turned to face their people, the weight of their new titles settling upon them like a mantle. Jon nodded, understanding the weight of his father's decision. He admired Ned's courage to embrace change, and he knew that their bond would remain strong, no matter the distance. Arya Stark, ever the adventurous spirit, announced her own plans. I'm setting sail west, she declared, a glint of excitement in her eyes. There are lands yet unseen, and I want to discover them. Jon embraced her tightly, pride swelling in his heart. May the winds be at your back, sister. Go find your own adventures. Robb Stark remained steadfast as the Warden of the North, committed to protecting their homeland and ensuring the safety of its people. I will keep the North strong, Jon, he promised. You can count on me. Sansa Stark, with her keen political mind, chose to stay in Winterfell until a suitable marriage partner could be found. Winterfell needs me, she said, her voice resolute. I will ensure our home is safe and prosperous until the right alliance presents itself. As the sun set over King's Landing, casting a warm glow over the city, Jon and Daenerys stood together on the balcony of the Red Keep, overlooking the realm they had vowed to protect. The sounds of celebration echoed below, a reminder of the hope and unity they had worked so hard to achieve. Together we will build a better future, Daenerys said softly, her hand intertwined with Jon's. No more wars, no more bloodshed, just peace. Jon nodded, his heart filled with resolve. We have the strength of our dragons and the loyalty of our people. Together, we will ensure that this realm knows only prosperity. As the first stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the dragons circled overhead, their silhouettes cutting against the moonlight. Jon felt a sense of peace wash over him. They had conquered not just lands but hearts, forging alliances that would withstand the test of time. The wolf dragon's reign had begun, and with it, the promise of a new dawn for Westeros and Essos.